Hello and good evening. My name is Michael Coleman, and I learned a lot this past 3 days. Gotta admit I'm nervous to make this video and to tell you everything I learned. I went on a 7-mile run this morning with one of my partners in crime as far as the acting business goes, and I was able to expound everything to him easily. But for some reason, doing it on a video is hard, so I took some notes. The number one thing I learned, and this is stuff that I've learned even from you watching your videos, is that I'm an entrepreneur, and I need a great product, and I need buyers, and I need sellers, and I need a business mindset and a competitive advantage. That's the biggest thing I learned, is that I need to know exactly what my product is and what I'm selling. And I need to be able to tell somebody about exactly what it is I'm selling in 5 seconds. And so, here I go. Here's a couple things I've been playing with. I'm the delicate guy who's been through some serious stuff. I'm the cocky artist who is good at heart, but on the exterior is a smart-ass asshole. I'm Adam Brody meets Shia LaBeouf, but I look like Jamie Dornan. I was also thinking, too, I'm Adam Brody meets Vince Vaughn, but I look like Jamie Dornan. I don't know if Vince Vaughn might be a little bit too out of my ballpark, though. Doppelgangers. Charlie Cox from Daredevil. Jamie Dornan from 50 Shades of Grey. Hugh Dancy from Hannibal. Jack Falahy from How to Get Away with Murder? No. I think so, actually. Yeah, I think it's How to Get Away with Murder. And Emile Hirsch. I learned that I need to find out who my buyers are. Casting directors. I need to find 10 of them would be good, but I want to start with like 1 or 2 and really hit them hard. I finally realized that I'm not going to be discovered. Hustling is what's going to launch my career, putting in the work. I've heard this a million times too, and it's finally all sinking in. I can't just show up at a casting director workshop and do one scene for a casting director and have them be like, oh, that was amazing, that was great. That's not going to work. I have to constantly be making contact with them. And it doesn't just mean I need to go to 50 casting director workshops for the same casting director. I just need to get in front of them in other ways. I need to know who I'm auditioning for. I need to research. I need to know about these casting directors, what they cast, what the shows they cast are like, what the tone is, what the context is. So when I go in there, I'm presenting a certain tone in a certain context, so they know right off the bat, oh, he's doing stuff that's in the same vein as stuff that I cast. He clearly is a professional and he knows, which means I need to just put in even more work. Quick segue. She said this too. Valerie Hubbard said, to get a open-close sign from like an Ace Hardware, hang it in my room, and when I wake up and I'm actually doing stuff for the business of acting, for my business, to flip it to open. Because that means business is open, the store is open, and it's time to let the buyers in and see me. And if I'm not doing that, if I'm waiting tables, or I'm doing something that has nothing to do with that, then I'm going to close it. And every time I look at it closed, I'm going to know that I am not getting where I want to be because the business is closed right now. I thought that was great. Make sure I'm in front of each buyer every 6 to 8 weeks. And when I mean each buyer, I mean I want to get one going right now, one casting director. I want to find out one who needs the product I'm selling, who needs Adam Brody meets Shia LaBeouf but looks like Jamie Dornan, who needs the cocky artist who's good at heart but a sarcastic asshole on the exterior, who needs the delicate guy who has been through some serious shit. Find that casting director and go to their casting office and do a drop-off and be so kind while I do it. And go in, see whoever is behind the desk, moment to moment. Just be there for them. Be there with them. Be nice to them. Hi, how are you? What's your name? Is this person here? This is who I'm trying to find. Okay, are they? Okay, they're not here. Well, do you know when they'll be back? I'd really like to drop this off to them, but if I can't, could you do that for me? Would you be willing to do that? Oh, you would? Thank you so much. You know what? Here's a $5 Starbucks gift card too, for your trouble. Thank you so, so much. The most important person is the person that's in front of me. It's not the casting director. If I go to the casting office, it's the intern or the assistant or the associate. It's whoever I'm talking to right then. That is the only person that matters. This was something I was always kind of iffy on, but now I know it's super important. Postcards matter. Postcards really, really matter. A Mark Teschner story by a casting director who was at the seminar named Tanika Becker. She cast Resident Evil, she casted X-Men Apocalypse, she cast a bunch of indie films and stuff. She told me about, she was like talking to somebody in the audience about the General Hospital casting director, who I have seen do a speech at my school, Playhouse West, do an amazing 3-hour talk, which was incredible. I learned so much from him about auditioning and being in the room and what casting directors have to go through and what they expect and what they want and how you can help them. And actually, it's funny because this past week, Mark Teschner came into P.F. Chang's, where I work. And I did not wait on him, but I had the server buy him and his daughter dessert. But I didn't say it was from me, because he was with his daughter. I didn't want to make a big thing about it, But I bought them dessert, and when his daughter got up and went to the bathroom as they were getting up to leave. And then when they got up to leave, I went up to Mark and said, "Hey, how you doing? Just want to let you know he gave a talk at my school, Playhouse West. My name is Michael Coleman. I'm an actor. It was an amazing talk. I just want to say thank you so much for coming in and doing that. Didn't ask for anything. I just want to say hi and thank him for that talk. That meant so much for me." Anyway, Tanika Becker comes into this conference or the seminar, and she says, "Yes, this casting director, Mark Teschner, 40 Emmys, General Hospital." And she's talking about postcards, and she's like, Mark Teschner said one time that not every time, once in a while, when he has to cast a co-star or a guest star, and he's struggling to find somebody, he'll reach into a bin of all the postcards that he keeps, and he'll start pulling them out because he's just struggling. He can't find somebody for something. And he'll start looking at him and be like, "Hey, this person would be great. I'm going to call this person in and talk to him, or an audition him." So it's so important to do postcards because you never know what might come of it. You just never know, especially if you're strategic about it. I learned that thank you cards matter. I learned that putting my headshot on everything, embedding my headshot in the email, not attaching a link when I send emails, because nobody wants to click on something and wait for it to load. They want it embedded in the email. And I've seen you do that with pictures too, and it's brilliant. And I was like, how did she do that? So I Googled it and learned how to do that. So now I'm going to do that from now on. If my buyers don't know me, casting directors, and I'm emailing them, they're just going to delete the email. I need to do a drop-off and meet that casting director or get my materials to them so they see the headshot, so they know my name. I need to send them postcards. I need to go to their workshop. I need to get in front of them before I start sending out these emails, touching base with them every 6 to 8 weeks. Because otherwise they're going to see it and they're not going to do anything. And also there's Banana Tag too, which lets you know if they opened it, which is amazing. I've done it with a couple of casting directors and it's great. $5 Starbucks gift cards are my best friend. I heard so many stories of how Valerie got into amazing casting offices by bypassing security guards, by just saying, "Hey, I have an important thing here. I need to get it to this person. Would you be willing to let me do it?" And you know what? If I can't, can you get it to him? And here's a $5 gift card. Thank you so much. Or here's a $5 gift card. Is it okay if I just go? I mean, it's amazing, just by doing something small like that. She told me of this cookie story, too, where her and her friend, when they were younger, they took cookies to a casting office and got through the security guard by giving them cookies. And they got into the place and were like, "Hey, cookies." And the casting associates and casting assistants and casting directors were like, "Oh, wow, cookies." I mean, they dropped off their materials, I mean, people went crazy just to have a cookie. I mean, And then that story snowballed into how 10 years later, a casting assistant that she gave a cookie to ended up becoming a massive casting director in New York and ended up offering her a role. So 10 years later, after giving somebody a cookie, that person offered her a role, and because of that generous act she did, took that to heart and just and tries to pay that forward. Just something he remembered 10 years ago. It was amazing. Who my sellers are. For a while, I thought it was you, and I thought it was my agents, and I didn't realize it's me. That's the number one seller, is me. I'm the number one seller. I'm the owner of this business. I am the CEO. I'm the one who needs to be pushing myself the hardest. Having a manager and agents is great, but they're just other sellers to help, because no business can run by just having one salesman. You have to have a team of salespeople to make a good business run. For a while I thought, well, I have my salesman, so I'm good. I can just sit back and go to class. It's not the case, and it makes so much sense. And I am a good salesman. I've just never gotten that kick in the butt to be like, look, take charge. This is your business. Let's go. So I know that now. Cold calling and drop-offs. Never knew that I could just cold call a casting office and try and get through to a casting director or a casting associate or a casting assistant and be like, hey, my name is Michael Coleman. I just wanted to say hi, and I see that you're casting this project. I'd really like to audition. I just sent you an email with all of my materials, and I'd like to know when would be a good time to audition. Just being able to get through to somebody and be able to know what you want, what you're trying to get from them, and who you're trying to reach. So if I call a place, I'm asking for the head casting director. If they're not available, oh, when will they be available? Oh, okay, how about this person? How about the casting associate? How about this person? Know their names, know exactly what's going on. So the person on the phone is just like, okay, this person knows who they want, I can help them, as opposed to, oh, well, I'd like to just talk to somebody about possibly auditioning. No, know who you want to talk to, know what you want for cold calls. And I can't wait to do this. Because I'm good at cold calling, especially, I've been a telemarketer. I've had to call people, I have to call people all the time to get shifts covered at P.F. Chang's. I am the best at getting a shift covered over the phone. The best, because nobody else will call. Everyone texts asking if they'll get their shifts covered. I call, and I'm great at it. Okay, this is going on 13 minutes. I'm going to try and make this fast. I'm sorry. Okay, cold calling and drop-offs. I talked about drop-offs. 5 actions towards buyers this week. So every week, 5 actions, whether it's an email. Mostly, though, let's do a casting director workshop. Let me do a drop-off. Let me do a cold call. Send out a postcard. Anything. But I need to be doing things every week to get in front of buyers. I need to show the buyers that I have a product on my shelf and that they can buy it if they want. Check-ins with my team. I need to be able to be diligent about checking in with my team of sellers. That's you, and that's my agents. I need to every week be checking in and saying, hey, this is what I'm doing right now. Just letting you know, I met this casting director. At like this seminar, I met, well, I didn't meet, but I listened to Julie Knapp. I listened to Tanika Becker, Amanda Richards, and also met a couple agents too, Elmer Blanco, and so on. So, you know, every time I get something like that going on, to let everybody know, and to let everybody know what I'm doing for the week, what I'm working on, what I'm doing, what my game plan is, everything like that, and see what everyone else can help me with, you know, to be checking in with my agents and say, you know, what can you guys be doing for me right now, and not do it in like, you know, a demanding way, but just, you know, how can we do this? How can we work as a team together? Which is, you know, something I need to probably work on as far as how to be good with communicating that. Because sometimes, like, I get so gung-ho about it, I come off as someone who's a little mean. Not mean, but not taking into consideration that the other person is working, that the other person is busy. Targeting 2 casting directors for now. I've heard 7, I've heard 5, I've heard 15, I've heard 3. I want to do 1 for right now.